Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no country. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. Imagine no possession. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. Hello, my fellow musical beings. It's great to have you here with me today, and welcome to a guitar lesson on John Lennon's classic song, this fellow right here, classic song, Imagine. Now, just like any other piece of art, I believe that the message is left up to your interpretation. But some of the interpretations I've gathered from the song are a message of empathy, mindfulness, and peace, among many others. And I think those are all great messages that are still very relevant today. Now, my guitar instructor, Lenny, is the one who showed me the chord structure and taught me the song, essentially. So I left in the description the chord structure that he wrote down in my book for me. So if you want to use that to follow along, you may, or you can just watch the video and learn it that way. Either way is okay. You can definitely learn the song. It's very simple. If you don't know these chords, this is a great opportunity to learn the chords. And if you already know them, it should be a piece of cake for you. You should slide through the song really easily. So let's get into it. Alright, so there's only 3 big parts we're going to have to break down here. And we're going to jump right into the intro, which starts off with the C major chord. And as you can see, this low E, or the 6th string, is X'd out, so go ahead and try to miss that. 2, 3. On this 4th one here, you just lift up your index finger, and you get C major 7. Also, the song is in the key of C major, which isn't really important to this lesson, but that just means there's no sharps or flats in the chords or the notes. So you do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you drop right down to F major 7. It's a very easy transition, but notice that the E and the A are both X'd out, so try to miss those guys. So 1, 2, 3. Play it 3 times. Now I let go of all my fingers, except for my middle finger, which is on the 2nd fret of the G string, which makes an A note. And what we're about to do is a hammer-on, which sounds a little fancy, but it's nothing crazy. So leave that finger on and pluck that string right there, and then throw your ring finger on the fret next to it. So right after you pluck it. So practice that for a second. Once you get that down, it's very simple, especially within the song. Then you play the string right below it, which is a B. So practice that if you have to. Practice it in context with the song. Just practice that intro. Write that all down. So that's all you got to do there. And then you play that 3 times. I recommend looking at the picture I uploaded to see how it's laid out, but you do it 3 times, and then the 4th time you just play F major 7 4 times without the hammer on, and it breaks away. So, or you can watch the video again if you want to just look how it's all laid out. But anyways, the second part we're going to be breaking down here begins with an F major chord, and I use a bar chord to do that. So if you don't know your bar chords, I recommend practicing that. This is a good opportunity to. So, lay your index finger on the side and play basically an E major chord, but you're slid up half a fret, which would make sense if you understand how music works. So go ahead and play that F major. You do that twice into an A minor. As you can see too, this string, this low E is blocked out, so try to play the bottom 5. 1, 2, then you go to D minor 7. So I do a partial bar chord on the 1st fret of the B and the E string, and then I have my middle finger on the 2nd fret of the G string to make an A. So then here, as you can see, you play the bottom 4 strings. Then you go right back into F. So let's say it one more time. F, F, A, D minor 7, D minor 7, F, F. Right after that, you go into a G major chord. Now I'm using my pinky. There's other ways to do this. The way I do it is like this. My pinky is on the 3rd fret of this high E string right here. 2, 3, and then you drop into that C major that you're familiar with. Play that once, and then jump up to a G7. So a G7 is essentially the G major chord, except I flipped between my pinky, and now I have my index finger on the 1st fret of the E string. And I play that once. Then you're right back into the intro. So just do. So go right back into that. So the next part we're gonna have to break down is right after you do that big F major thing. So go ahead and do all that again with the D minor 7 back to F, G, and then right after that you go back into F major. 1, 2, go to that G that you're familiar with. 2, C, 1, 2, E major. We haven't done this yet, but it's an easy chord and it's good. Actually, one of the books I was reading for classical guitar was telling me it's the greatest sounding chord on the guitar. That's up to you. Whatever you think is the greatest sounding chord on the guitar, that's up to you. But so you just strum that E major right there, and now what we got to do is we pluck this bass note, this bass E, this low E. So you go strum that, pluck this low E, and I'll pluck the high E. And I usually use my middle finger, but if you have a pick, just go doo doo. So you go boom, boom, boom. And now this is a little interesting where we have to throw our pinky down onto the 7th note of an E major. So as you can see, the 7th note of E major is D. And we're doing that on the 3rd fret of the B string to get a B. But you're just doing that really fast. So it's just throw your pinky down. And then right back into it. You do that a few times. I'll include a picture of what an E major 7 would look like, so what it would look like if you had that pinky down. But just throw that pinky down, strum it, and then go right back into the F that you just did. And that's the entire song. So just practice it, break it down, look at the structure that I have in the picture below, watch the video again, look how it's all structured. But that's it. You can learn the song, you're the task, your music, I'm music, we're music. Other than that, though, have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any suggestions on future songs you want me to work on, please leave a comment below and like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much. Enjoy your day, and goodbye.